How's it going, Release Over 20 Nation? Dave Flatt here with Release Over 20. And I just want to welcome you to our live giveaway for November. It's a pretty big month for entries, so pretty stoked about that. Got a new program we want to talk about a little bit tonight, and also go over our stats like we normally do, and give away 4 prize packs. I'm going to bring on the crew, all right? What's going on, guys?
How you doing, Adam?
Talkative tonight. Talk to us. What's going on? What's new? What's new in your lives?
Well, Adam and I fished our first redfish tournament, which was pretty cool.
Yep.
We didn't
Redfish Cup.
We didn't come in third like some people we know. We had a good time.
Hey, even a blind squirrel finds an acorn.
Yeah,
which is the truth, because we didn't have expectations to do that well. But for all of you who don't know, me and my co-owner of Ice Strike fished the tournament as well, and we managed to get 3rd place, which was a huge honor for us. Very fortunate and lucky, to be honest. But we had a really fun day of fishing. We were just excited to go fishing, to be honest. It's been like a week and a half since we've been on the water. So I guess our stars aligned for us, which is cool. But y'all did well.
Yeah,
you had a 21 and a half, didn't you?
Yeah, we got right on the bite. I think within the first probably 8 casts, we had 3 fish in the live well. So it was hot. It was fast and furious in the beginning. We just had a hard time getting that last decent fish in the boat. We came in just under 10 pounds and 13 won it, and you guys were at 12, 7, 6 or something, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So 43 boats too, by the way.
Yeah. Came in the middle of the road, about 22nd. Adam and I did. We'd do it again. I think it was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
a lot of people, and got to talk about Release Over 20. So,
and Kerry had the one. Kerry had the one to get us to vault us into the upper echelon.
Yeah,
took him into a piling.
If
it was an overslot, it would have been right up there. But
it would have been right on it. Yeah.
There's always a heartbreaker story. So the funny thing I want to say is that, so Ralph and I fish brackish water normally. So we had a long haul from Isle of Palms. We had an hour boat ride through 3 no wake zones, going 40 miles an hour in my boat as fast as it can go. Luckily, it was glass calm, so we could really hammer down. It's still an hour. So I pull off plane, put the trolling motor down, and check my message, and it's a text from Adam, and it says, "Got 8 so far." I'm like, we didn't even made 1 cast yet. I was like, oh crap, we're screwed.
What's really funny, and Adam and I laughed about this several times, but that one that did get us on the piling, had we had bait casters, and Adam and I, we just fish for fun. We've got light tackle, and it's just fun to fish just for the sport of catching those redfish on lighter tackle. Well, we didn't bring anything besides that, because that's what we fish with. But once you do hang into one that's 20 plus inches, you want that sucker in the boat. And I told Adam, I said, we need bait casters, so we're just skipping them across the water, getting them in. But
that doesn't work for me, because I still use 10-pound test on my bait casters. So
I know, so do we.
It's still just as light as everything else.
Yeah.
But anyway, enough banter. It was a good month, so I'm going to pull up our presentation for November. And before we get rolling on that stuff, we wanted to preview this. So this is something we've all been working on. We're excited about, and it's a program called Get On Board, and it's for charter captains. We want to try to get more charter captains involved. We already have probably 25 captains that are sort of officially signed up to be recognized, but this is taking it a little bit further. We're kind of looking to sign up a bunch of captains to kind of be our partners, to sort of represent Release Over 20. And as we've done all along, we're trying to put out a bunch of carrots to encourage people to do it. And we have carrots for captains and carrots for clients. And we wanted to just preview that a little bit real quick. So this is what you're looking at here is a flyer that we'll send out. Here's what it looks like in front of the camera. But it's basically what you're looking at right there. And it has just basic information about what's in it for the captain, what's in it for the clients, how to get started. And then we also have a postcard that is meant to kind of keep in your glove compartment or your boat or something. And what it has is, you probably can't see it because of the glare, but it has some talking points with the clients, which is kind of the facts we've been putting out there, like the 20 million eggs for the trout, how rare a trout is, the fact that all 20-inch flounder are female. But this is like reminders so that the captain can talk about with their clients, the reason why you want to release over 20. It's totally voluntary for the client. They can choose to participate or not. But we're going to send out a thick stack of our original decals to the captains that participate completely for free. Doesn't cost them a penny. And we also have some special decals made up for the captain to display on their boat or wherever they want to put it, truck or whatever. And so we have some cool things for the captains. So we now have a captain's top 10 on our website, and it's nationwide. So you can see, how you stack up against other captains. We'll do it on an annual basis. And we also are in progress of making our state pages updated with new information. And there'll be a list of all the captains that are signed up for your state, but it'll also have a leaderboard for your state. So it's kind of an incentive for a captain to enter more fish because it gets them to the top of the leaderboard. Now, if I'm going to travel to Louisiana and I want to go trout fishing and I support release over 20, I'm going to fish with a guy that does also. So I'm going to probably look at that leaderboard and say, oh, well, such and such is far and away the release leader in Louisiana. Well, I'm going to hire him. So it's a big incentive for the charter captain to participate. Now, for the client, if they choose to participate, they get a free decal no matter what happens. But if they do release over 20, the captain will enter the fish for them because they're probably not going to do it. That's sort of a lot of feedback I get across the country is that clients just don't care enough to do it, but the captain does. So the captain can enter for them, but when they talk about it originally, they say, hey, if you do this, not only do you release the fish, it's the right thing to do, but we're going to have a special giveaway just for charter captains' clients every month. So it's be a pretty good chance for them to win one of our prize packs, which is usually over $100 or something like that. So they'll get a box full of cool stuff. It's kind of like, there's no brainers on both sides. So hopefully it will be really popular. And again, it's not going to cost anybody anything. It's going to cost us, which we fund through donations, things like hats and donations to the site and whatnot. So, guys, you got anything to add to that? Did I do all right job of covering it?
But I think you did fantastic. I'm pretty excited about this. I'm really I think it's just going to be really interesting to get the clients involved too, because I know the captains are going to enjoy doing this, but I just see so many kids that, not just kids, but once they understand what release over 20 is about, then they want to catch that 20-inch trout. I mean, that's why they're out there.
Just so they can release it.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really cool. So this is something that I'm getting a little bit off the track, but I've said this for many years, and this is what I did with my own kids. But if you have a little kid, like 3, 4 years old, you're just getting them into fishing, you catch a big fish like a release over 20 or like a 20-inch trout. Usually their first reaction is, can we keep it? Can we keep it? And if you just explain if we put this back, it's going to lay more eggs. It's going to be more fish for you to catch when you grow up. And they're like, oh, okay. And then from then on, like, they'll not want you to keep anything. It's that easy to turn a kid's attitude like 180 degrees different, and it works. It's both my boys were just like, that's how they, grew up. So it's just that simple. I mean, our behaviors are learned. You're not born expecting to keep a limit. That's a top behavior.
And it still works on adults as well. I mean,
That's right.
Terry and I were out the day before Friday trying to scout for this tournament, and we got into some trout right around the release over 20 size, and we were pretty happy to. Terry got one, and mine came up just a little bit short, but it definitely adds something to. I mean, it's great to catch one, obviously, anytime, but
we tried to stretch
adult,
Adams, though, didn't we, Adam? I mean, it was like 19 7/8, maybe 15 16ths, but
story of my life.
In fairness, we decided we couldn't do it.
You get them.
But yeah, point being, it's still fun, even for people like us that fish a lot. So
yeah,
awesome. So we're gonna have a separate broadcast just to talk about the details of that coming up in maybe a week or so. We'll set a date for it, but just wanted to preview this for everyone right now. Pretty excited. It took a while to get the flyers in and stuff like that, but we're all set to go now.
Hey, David. So captains, just so captains know, there's a place on the website where they can go and they can get their name written down and all that. We'll send them all this information. And
yes, in fact,
flyers and
while we're talking about it,
okay,
just for the hell of it, I'm gonna share my screen here, and show it. Okay, so here's our website, and if you go to the login, I guess I'm still logged in. So if you go to create an account, you can register your guide service right here.
Okay. And
it's important that they fill out all the information, and we even want them to upload a logo. So we asked for the charter service - captain name, the state, and website and phone. Now this is so people can contact you for business. So here's a list of ones that are already signed up, and I just want to show how roughly it's going to look.
Is this available already or not yet?
Yeah, people can do it today. In fact, every few days I'm getting new people adding it. But here's right now the state page, and I'm probably going to revise this a little bit, but I've been working on the South Carolina page. And so here's how it looks. So we have this angler participation, the angler leaderboard, but check this out. So now you have the guide entries from South Carolina. So just my friend Justin Carter from Redfin Charters has 21 trout entered since inception, or 21 fish. There might be not just trout. Jimmy Deaver from Merle's Inlet, Captain Stephen Fluke from Unashamed Adventures at 6. So there's your leaderboard, but also all of the clients, or I mean, all the captains that are in South Carolina are listed here in alphabetical order with their logos. So you want to make sure you enter all that information, because if you don't, it'll look a little hokey. So anyway, that's roughly how it goes. The other thing is in order for the guide to enter their information, we also need them to register on site. And it's for a few reasons. The main reasons is that it's always identical how the information is entered in the website and the database. I mean, because if you put in like your name all in caps and then all in lowercase, it's going to count as two different people. So if you register, all you got to do is enter your username and password, and it's going to populate everything automatically the same way every single time. Plus, it saves you time and effort, and who doesn't want to save time and effort?
Mm-hmm.
All you got to do is pretty much enter the fish each time, and you can bang out 15 fish really easy. So anyway, I just wanted to show that real quick. Let's see. So anyway, that's our guide program. So let's talk about entries for the month. Check that out. 494 trout entered in November. I think that if that's not a record, that's really close to being a record. That's a lot of trout. But pretty good numbers for sheepshead and flounder as well. Yet again, Virginia is dunking on the rest of the country. 350 roughly fish entered. If you look at the fish we've been reposting, it's mostly trout coming out of Virginia right now. And my man Medrano is just like, he's just slaying them, as well as a lot of other people. So good job on Virginia, the sleeper of the country. They better be careful because people are going to start figuring out that Virginia's got all the trout.
I mean, if you can brave the cold, right? I mean, it
Yeah,
can't possibly be always warm at this time of year up there, right?
It's
That these
cold
guys
as
are
crap.
catching.
And a lot of them are going at night too.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be in the 20s or 30s, I would think.
Yeah.
Man, it'd be worth it to catch a trout like that.
Yeah. Ask any of them and they'll tell you it's worth it.
Yeah, I bet.
So Jason Lutz is the leader, followed by Frankie Peterson, John Young, and there's Medell right there. And on down the line. So it took about, it's looking like 12 or 13 to make the top 10. Pretty strong. And the guide leaderboard, so Jimmy Deaver from Myrtle's Inlet, South Carolina, is in the lead with this month with 10. So interesting in Myrtle's Inlet. So if you don't know South Carolina, Myrtle's Inlet's up by Myrtle Beach, a little south of Myrtle Beach. And we in Charleston are a couple hours south of that. But they have an interesting little estuary where it's not fed by rivers for the most part. It's kind of all comes in from the ocean. And one of the captains up there said that he has caught fish that were tagged in Virginia, trout. So those are like pelagic trout. Like they move up into Chesapeake and then come down as far as Myrtle's Inlet. And it's funny because in Myrtle's Inlet, there won't be much going on. And then all of a sudden, within like a 1 week period, these giant trout move in there. And, it's not that uncommon for them to catch a 25, 26 incher, 5-pound trout, which is pretty cool. Totally different than what we have. Like in Charleston, where we live, we have a giant estuary with 3 rivers feeding it and deep water, and all our fish are pretty much resident. They go up the creeks and back to the ocean, and they don't really go up and down the coast that much, I don't think. So it's funny in the same state how things could be so different. But I thought that was really pretty interesting.
It's interesting too, David, that, excuse me, Adam and I were talking about, we seem to have a little bit better trout this year. And, I don't know if that's a direct reflection of people releasing them and a combination of maybe that with we've had some mild winters, but we've got some decent trout right now. Like Adam said, we got into a school of really nice, 17s and over.
Yeah. Well, I think it's both. It's probably mostly the fact that we've had 6 years now of mild weather.
Yeah.
And there's been a lot of big trout. I mean, one of the guys here when the Wando River his client caught a 27 incher, which is like, I've only heard of a 27 or over in this area caught every 3 years, once every 3 years, something like that. So that's it's got to be just because we have all these consecutive warm weather,
But Adam lets the one go that's 19 and 7/8. And then another month, somebody's going to release one over.
At least over 20, yeah.
It's true.
Yep, hope so.
Yeah, we were Ralph and I were fishing in a creek, and we came on Justin Carter, who you saw just a minute ago. I showed he was leading in South Carolina he's a charter captain. He's probably caught more big trout than anyone I know in this city. But he was posted up with a client group and asked how we're doing. I said, we haven't caught any over 20, but it was one like Adam's. I had one that was like 19 and 7/8, which I released anyway. But I said, how you doing? And he holds up his hands and he's like this. It's like 10 and 2. He had 12 release over 20s.
Wow.
On that one trip.
Wow.
But he's fishing with shrimp, it's a little bit easier that way, I think.
Yeah.
His clients are catching them, so it's mostly just knowing where they are. But that, I mean, to have that many over 20, that says a lot about, like you said, there's a lot of bigger trout around, which is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely enjoying it. Hope that freeze stays away.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Carrie, take it away. Let's talk about giveaways.
Are we talking about sheepshead?
Yep.
Okay.
Is that sheepshead?
That's what came up.
Yeah.
I see the Twitch clips, so I know that's sheepshead. So, toadfish, we've got a toadfish cap. We've got the mosquito repellent, and it's also for gnats too, which Adam and I can tell you that Saturday morning, it was good to have that on the boat.
Yeah.
Waterloo, got a face gator, face shield. And then we've got your Slam series, bottom sweeper jigs, and bait binder. So
I'm looking at that bait binder chum kit. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean,
with a chum bag too, huh?
It does, yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
People going out cobia fishing or whatever. Actually, a lot of different kinds of fishing. I don't think people chum as much as they probably could,
Interesting though, thinking about chumming though. Remember Saturday, or not Saturday, but during the redfish tournament, I guess that was Saturday. That you couldn't fish within 100 yards or 50 yards of somebody that's chumming. So it works. I mean,
it works for sure.
Even for redfish, you could chum that right there.
Yeah. I've heard people like put it out at low tide in like the pluff mud and then come back at high tide, and usually it'd be like a bunch of redfish stacked up in there.
Yeah.
It's kind of cheating, I think, but I'm sure it works really well.
The interesting thing is Dave, the owner / the guy that is behind Bait Binder, he was telling us when Carrie and I met him on Carrie's boat that he doesn't know the full use of Bait Binder because he knows where he ships it, of course, but people don't tell him what they use it for, and they are very, he even tries to find out. He said, right, Carrie, and people don't. People are very secretive about how
they're very closed-mouthed about it.
Yeah, I could see that. 1 second. So Rob Bent's here. What's going on, bud? This one's.
What's up, Luke?
Okay, so next one is Flounder.
So Prime Gancho, you see his hats. I think this might be the first hat I've given away of his. A bait binder shirt with the bait binder logo, but along with that is a coupon. Underneath that logo is also a coupon for 20% off, I think, maybe. Then you've got a Carolina First Mate with the inside that koozie is a sample boat wash. And if you guys have never used their boat wash, it's really good stuff. It works very well, and doesn't matter if you spill it in the creek, it's not going to hurt a thing. Then you've got the Slam series, you got the Z-Man and Paul Brown's Fat Boy, the Flounder.
Sweet.
Now, what's the that Paul Brown's Fat Boy? I see a lot of guys, not as much here in South Carolina, but certainly on the Gulf Coast. Really, that's their go-to thing. But I hear some guys here talk about it. But
have you fished one?
I haven't. No, that's what I was going to ask you.
Yeah. Any of those like slow suspending lures aren't real popular in Charleston because we have such big tides. It's hard to get them in the strike zone.
Yeah, like the mirror lure. I fish the mirror lure from time to time.
Yeah, they're real popular in places where they have like a 1 or 2 foot tide or less, and in a lot of wade fishing where they can have that be near the strike zone of the fish. But they have just an incredible action. Like if you look at them, they'll suspend and just kind of like they wobble as they slowly fall. And me, like I'm all about that big eye, so it's got that giant eye in it, and I believe that really works. Premise of our whole company. So, yep, a lot of anglers going to want that Fat Boy. Good, awesome lure. And then lastly, we got Speckled.
And both of those are like somewhere around the $75 giveaway. This right here is going to be more of $150 for the trout, and again, you got the Prime Gancho, the trout hand towel, which it's a really cool design. I really, really like that. Waterloo. You've got a neck gator, Rayos sunglasses. Rayos gave us a dozen pair of sunglasses. That's not a very good picture of them, but it's sitting on top of the case that it comes in. Toadfish hat, Z-Man, soft plastics, lamb shady, and what's the down here at the bottom? I never can't think of the name of the mirror lure, the floating.
It's just a topwater mirror lure.
Yeah, it's just topwater, but there's a name for it, and I never can think of it. And then Low Country Fishing, I've got his sticker upside down, but there's a Low Country Fishing sticker too.
So we're all fans of the Rayos glasses. Like I've had all the expensive kinds. You guys probably have too. I'm an optical engineer, so I know a lot about polarization, and the polarization on these is as good as any high-end glass. They're, the way to tell is you take that lens and you put it in front of a computer screen and you turn it 90 degrees, it should go completely black. And it sure does with those Rayos. And they're lightweight and they float. So what's not to love? And they're not that expensive. They're like, what, 40?
With a 20% discount, yeah. I think they retail somewhere around 65, and then you can find some giveaways. David, you're a sponsor. I'm a sponsor, so I mean an ambassador. So
you can literally have 4 pair of those for the price of the high end glasses, and keep a pair in a boat and give some to your friends. It's like
for sure.
I'm a huge fan of the company and great customer service too.
Yeah, and it's a local husband and wife. It's not a big; it's a small.
Yeah, and a lot of good sunglass companies out there. Don't want to put any down, and not doing that. I'm just saying that these are legit good glasses.
And they're a very good company. They're local, like Adam was saying, but they're just really good people too. I think I may have mentioned this a month or so ago when we did get these in, but we had run out of Rayos stuff, and I had a contact with one of the other reps earlier, and he left and gave me the contact information for the gal that I'm speaking with now. And I one email, and she said, "What do you need?" And had a dozen pair in the mail 2 days later. So, I mean, they're just good folks. They sent us a little holiday box. I guess you probably got yours too, David, but had a couple different things in it. So anyway, really, really nice people, and I just enjoyed working with them. With pleasure.
Yep. Good stuff. So this is the last month that we're going to do an overall, and the overall is one we just pick like a bonus prize from all the entries. And this month they're going to throw in a hat and a net gator. Now, we have these for sale, and purchasing them helps us help you. So we encourage you to go to our website, go to the store tab, pick up some swag, and it's not going in our pockets. It's going back to the anglers participating. So we really appreciate if you would do that.
Yep.
Me and Adam are repping right now our hats. So there's also snapbacks like this. We're going to give away a snapback. So let's go ahead and do the giveaway then. Yeah. Let me, this is always kind of difficult. I need to share the screen. So we had, for Sheepshead, we had 8 entries. And we always do, I'm going to do this 3 times. So I just did the first one. Second one is 4, and the winner is number 8 out of 8. And that is Jackson Wells from South Carolina, Edisto Island. So congrats, Jackson. There's a 21.5-inch.
Nice.
Sheepshead.
Cool.
It's a good one. Real good one. Okay, so sorry. Now we have 13 flounder to choose from. And oops, 13. Okay, first roll is 3, second is 4, and the winner is 6. And that is George Powell from North Carolina. I I wonder if I feel like we've called George before. I'm not sure, but George I think he's like a teenager. He's constantly tagging us and stuff, and big angler. I think he's I can't remember what his Instagram is, but congrats, George. We'll reach out to you for that winning. And okay, so trout, we have a ton. We have 494 trout. It's almost like winning the Powerball here. Someone's about to get real lucky, and they're gonna say, "I never win anything," but they're gonna win here live, completely transparent, right, guys?
Yep, absolutely.
Okay, first roll 398. Next roll 254. Winner is 95. Which is this column. Wow, a lot of trout. 95 is John Young. So we know John pretty well. He's posting all the time too. I'm glad to see him win. He's been diligent, and you can see he enters a lot of fish.
Where's he from?
Florida. I'm sorry, Virginia. Yeah, he's a really dedicated trout angler. So congrats, John. We'll get a hold of you. Okay,
Hey,
and then go ahead.
David, where did you say that young man was from, George?
North Carolina.
Okay, I think his Hat Young Salt. I think
That's him. Yeah, that's him.
Salt. Yeah, I see a lot of stuff posted on it.
Yeah, he's all the time.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay, and the last one we have 515 to choose from for the overall. So next month this is going to be charter captain clients, and probably it's going to start out with a really good chance of winning because once we get some momentum going. Okay, first roll 101, second is 299, and the winner is 504, almost at the bottom. 504 right here. Jay Lucas from Virginia wins the overall. So congrats, Jay. Okay, so we have Virginia,
North Carolina, South Carolina,
Virginia, to Virginia, and the Carolinas.
Virginia, South and North Carolina.
Okay.
Yeah, no Florida or Texas.
No love for Gulf Coast or Florida.
Yeah,
got to enter more fish, guys. We're here for it. Please do it. Okay, so we're in the midst of December. We already have a bunch of entries, so keep it going. Yeah, Jay. Appreciate you guys commenting. All right, we're gonna wrap it up. Hope everyone's doing well. Keep your fish coming for December. We'll have another broadcast about the charter captain thing, which will end up on our YouTube page for future referral. And keep them coming. We'll do this again in the new year. Is that hard to believe or what?
Yep.
It's almost 2023. Where does the time go? Something Ralph said once that was funny as hell. He's like, the older you get, life is like a roll of toilet paper. The closer to the end, the faster it goes.
That sounds like a Ralphism.
Yeah, it's a Ralphism. With that, we'll sign off. All right. Thanks, guys.
All right, guys.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Y'all take care.